Asandes, now that we are done with the first phase of systems planning, we move on to the second phase, which is the systems analysis. JAD, or Joint Application Development, is one of the methodologies used for systems analysis. Let us find out more about it with Chuck Morris and Tony Crawford, the developers of JAD.
JAD represents a movement towards more collaborative practices to enhance the viability of given technical goals. Joint application development sessions are highly structured, facilitated workshops that bring together customer decision makers and IS staff to produce high-quality deliverables in a short time period. The original term, joint application design, has evolved to joint application development because these sessions are now used effectively throughout the software development cycle. JAD sessions can also be held prior to specific software development activities to review and document business processes. JAD stands for Joint Application Development.
So Tony and I created this method way back in 1977.
What is JAD?
So JAD is a technique that allows the development, management, and customer groups to work together to build a project.
It is a series of highly structured interviewed sessions aimed at reaching consensus on a project's goal and scope.
So basically, JAD is performed in a company together with the end users so that they can know what the end users want to happen.
And it is usually done within 3 to 6 months.
So, what is the importance of user involvement in JAD?
Users have a vital stake in an information systems. The IT department usually had sole responsibility for systems development, and users had a relatively passive role. The IT staff might ask users to review the design, offer comments, and submit changes.
Nowadays, users typically have a much more active role in systems development. IT professionals now recognize that successful systems must be user-oriented, and users need to be involved, formally or informally, at every stage of system development. A popular strategy for user involvement is a JAD team approach, which involves a task force of users, managers, and IT professionals that works together to gather information, discuss business needs, and define the new system requirements.
What happens in a typical JAD session?
Most JAD sessions span a 3 to 5 day time period and occasionally last up to 2 weeks. The success of any JAD session is dependent upon proper planning and effectively carrying out the plan. To successfully conduct the session, the leader should follow these guidelines. Avoid the use of technical jargon, apply conflict resolution skills, allow for ample breaks, encourage group consensus. Encourage user and management participation without allowing individuals to dominate the session. Make sure that attendees abide by the established ground rules for the session. The end product of a JAD session is typically a formal written document. This document is essential in confirming the specifications agreed upon during the sessions to all participants. The content and organization of the specification is obviously dependent on the objectives of the JAD session. The analyst may choose to provide a different set of specifications to different participants based upon their role. The typical participants in a JAD session are the facilitator. He plans the JAD session, conduct the session, and to follow through on the results. The sponsor. He is to give full support to the systems project by encouraging designated users to willingly and actively participate in the JAD session. The users and the managers. These participants are normally chosen by the project sponsor. The user's role is to effectively communicate business rules and requirements, review design prototypes, and make acceptance decisions. Meanwhile, the manager's role is to approve project objectives and establish priorities, approve schedules and costs, and approve identified training needs and implementation plans. The scribes. The scribe is responsible for keeping records pertaining to everything discussed in the meeting. The IS staff. The IS personnel listens and take notes regarding issues and requirements voiced by the users and managers. Normally, IS personnel do not speak up unless invited to do so.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of JAD?
An advantage of JAD is that it allows key users to participate effectively. Also, when used properly, JAD can result in a more accurate statement of system requirements, a better understanding of common goals, and a stronger commitment to the success of the new system.
The disadvantage of JAD is that it's expensive and can complicate if the groups are too large for the project.
Why use JAD and not other methods?
JAD actively involves users and management in the development of project.
JAD helps to avoid the requirements from being too specific and too vague, both of which cause trouble during implementation and acceptance.
JAD also reduces the amount of time required to develop systems, since it eliminates process delays and misunderstandings and improves system quality.
Tips from JAD experts.
Lighten the load.
Handouts, 1-hour interviews, and review transcript. The results can become the basic of JAD sessions.
Park it.
Write offending issues down and address them at a more appropriate time.
Get it in writing.
Document as much of the project as you can.
Do it together.
Set timeframes and deadlines jointly.
User-oriented technique for fact-finding and requirements modeling. That is JAD. I am Therese Manuel. Good day, mga kasandes.
They'll be making sure you stay amused. They'll fill you up with drugs and booze. Maybe you'll make the